Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. So last time out, we headed, Ko and Asuka headed back to the dance club where the guys, where the Blaze had been found to hang out. And they were able to find out what the hell was going on. Like what materials were being used to create the drugs that the Blaze are using. We also find out that we've got to kind of deal with the Blaze before gang war breaks out between them and the Yakuza. Yeah, it should be nice and easy for us to handle. And to top it all off, Shio got his ass absolutely handed to him by Aki, and now at the start of this part, he's basically just woken up, and we've kind of dragged him off. After Aki got away, we kind of dragged him off to the Ko's granddad's dojo, the Kokonori Shrine, as they say here. So we brought him back here to kind of get him some treatment and to, so that he can recover. Of course, with the problem being that Aki is now going to start his attack against the Yakuza with the Blaze tonight instead of in a couple of days. So yeah, we're kind of on a race against time here. But anyway, my grandson Ko always gets it in the fucking neck in this game. Holy shit, man. Yeah, right. That's damn right, Yuki. But anyway, yep. But Shio is still acting like a dumbass. He still wants to go out and try and take on the Blaze and Aki all by himself, because I don't know why. I guess he sees it as his problem because he used to be the leader of the Blaze. And yeah, Ko's probably right here. He's not gonna be he's not gonna win this fight, especially if he's got the drugs on his side. On your own, you're seriously not, son. Give it up. And here's where Sosuke actually has Ko's granddad actually has a bunch of truth bombs he wants to drop. Not just on Shio, as we'll see in a minute. Yeah, so he basically says here that basically wanting to go, he sounds like just like this Akihiro fellow, and that going off and trying to do everything all by yourself and not asking for help when you really need it is what someone does who's incredibly immature. And of course that doesn't just hit Shio pretty hard in the gut, because it's true on his part, but at the same time it kind of inadvertently hits Asuka quite hard in the gut as well, because she's kind of like arrogance, yeah, so she kind of gets it as well, that, you know, she's trying to do all this stuff by herself and not get all these outsiders involved and trying to do everything on her own. And Ko's granddad has basically said that that's the height of arrogance and kind of immaturity, and especially when she kind of wants to pass herself off and likes to think of herself as extremely mature and dependable. That kind of, it's a bit of a not just a bit, it's a massive gut punch for her as well. So yeah, it's you know, Ko's granddad knows what to do at these situations, I suppose. So yeah, she's basically saying, look, why don't you let us deal with this asshole, because we have our soul devices to be able to deal with him, because apparently it's only kind of brought up here, actually. It's only just brought up now that basically when Akihiro uses the drug, because that is going to bring about kind of eclipse-like energy, or kind of brings about the atmosphere that you find in the eclipse. That means that if he uses the drug, we should be able to activate our weapons in the real world and deal with him. It's never really explained why that's the case. It's just kind of a thing which is like brought up at this point. It's just like, yeah, this is something that probably can be done because of the fact that the drug is kind of from the eclipse, so it kind of creates the eclipse's kind of atmosphere. I don't know. It's never really explained. It's just kind of a thing which is just kind of safely assumed. It's never really done anyway, because we still end up going inside an eclipse, spoiler alert anyway, so we don't even really see the answer to that. Anyway, my apologies. Now we're going to get a bit of backstory on Kazuma and Shio. Basically, they were at the same orphanage together, and kind of and were horribly mistreated, and so they wanted to kind of deal with that. And so when they finally got a way out, Kazuma wanted to create a kind of safe space so that people who had nowhere else to go had a place where they felt that they could belong and where they could do things for the benefit of wider society. It's kind of what he wanted to do, kind of give people who kind of been forgotten and didn't really have anything, give them a chance. But of course, that got them into trouble with one of the bigger gangs in the city, Chaos, and they kidnapped Akihiro. But of course, Kazuma and Shiro went to save him, and what ended up happening? The leader of Chaos basically went nuts and ends up killing Kazuma after he jumped in front of the blade to save Akihiro. So yeah, it does give, but at least at this point it does give you a kind of a reasonable, kind of gives you a big reason as to why Akihiro would want to resurrect the blaze after this event kind of happens to him, where he's pretty much, he gets kidnapped, so that causes Shio and Kazuma to come out there in the first place, and then Kazuma ends up saving him when he was going to be stabbed by the leader of Chaos. So he kind of obviously feels super responsible for everything that's happened, and Aki just can't let it go, which is why he's doing what he's doing. And the reason why he hates Shio so much is because he feels like he's abandoned the blaze and abandoned kind of Kazuma and all that, and disrespecting his memory by just trying to, move on with his life and stuff. And so yeah. And so, it gives you a couple of things. It kind of explains why Akihiro is doing what he's doing. It gives a kind of reason for it. And it also gives the reason why Shio feels as if he has to do this on his own. It's because he was the former leader, Kazuma's no longer here, I have to deal with him myself. Because he can't just leave it up to somebody else. He has to deal with this himself. Because it's, because this is his world, if you like, and the blaze is his world and he has to deal with it. Of course, now we have a bit of Ko being logical again, kind of making the same point that his granddad did. Yep. Yeah, and Ko's kind of the one who kind of finally kind of gets it through to Shio at long fucking last that he doesn't have to do this all by himself. You know, you can still sort this out and, you know, get this stuff done, but you don't really have the power to do it all by yourself. So why don't you just lean on us a little bit, and we can help you out, because, you know, basically he kind of says here that basically we want to stop the blaze because of they're using the eclipses, you know, they're using stuff from the eclipse, so we have to kind of deal with that, and you want to deal with Akihiro and put the blaze back on the right path, so therefore join it with us and then we can take it, and then we can deal with it. And Shio finally agrees. So we finally find out where we finally find out where the blaze is stationed. We finally find out where the blaze is stationed. It's a little abandoned warehouse out on the edge of town. So that's where we're going to be heading to. And he's finally going to and so finally, what should have happened from the very start of the fucking chapter, Shio is teaming up with the rest of us so that we can take down Akihiro and the blaze and stop him from using these awful drugs. So off we go to defeat them once and for all. I think that's clearly a fucking lie. We're not going to be taking care. No, we're going to be doing the whole goddamn thing. And of course, back comes Yakuza Man to kind of see us off. And yeah, this is where we have a bit of this is never really explained, I don't think, over the course of the story. That it just so happens that Ko's grandfather just happens to know every kind of major player in town. So he knows like a major head figure in the Yakuza. So it's just as if it's nothing. It's kind of, I think it's just a running joke of kind of like, who is Ko's granddad really? You know, kind of hinting at that he was some kind of amazing badass in the past. It's a nice little running joke, I suppose. So anyway, so the abandoned factory is now being unlocked. We can actually go to any place here. So if you want to, you know, if there's anything you want to go sort out. So if you've still got some points to spend on, you know, your social links and whatever, or you want to go buy some equipment and all that kind of shit, you can do that now. But we're going to be heading straight to the abandoned factory. So yeah, the head of the Yakuza, basically, one of the heads of the Yakuza there, basically says, oh, so you guys are going to... Sorry. So you guys are actually going to deal with this. Okay, we'll stand down for now. Kick Akihiro's ass is basically his point. But we'll see. So yeah, this is Akihiro's plan. He's gonna... all the leaders of Chaos are going to be having a meeting, and he wants him and the rest of the Blaze to use their drugs to basically kill all of them. And this is where the rest of the gang kind of have cold feet and are kind of like, really? We're gonna kill him? Isn't this a bit much, dude? This is out of our league, man. I mean, the Yakuza and Chaos is way out of our league, dude. And he's like, basically, shut up. This is my plan. This is what we're doing. So we're gonna do it. So yeah, he's completely off the deep end at this point, and he's going to carry out his plan by any means necessary. And Shio's back. Well done, delinquent. Yeah, to be fair, it does seem pretty stupid at this point, doesn't it? Yeah, that was a one-off. I like how Shio's so calm in this situation. And the rest of us are going to deal with it. Yeah, we're here to help out this time, so go fuck yourself. We're going to kick your ass. Yeah, so Shio at this point still wants to deal with Akihiro himself, which could be a problem because he's, you know, he's still not got any he's still not got a soul device, so he's probably going to have some problems. Oh, for God's sake, dude, just use your brain and grow up. So yeah, he decides overdosing is the perfect decision here, and of course it doesn't cause the effects that you would think. He just thinks, I'm going to swallow them all, and I'm going to go super powered here and go over the top. And I'm just going to destroy all of you. Yeah, and everybody else. I think that's kind of cool how the rest of his gang don't simply turn on him at this point, and they're kind of worried about his, you know, they're worried about his safety. Which, you know, it's kind of nice. And of course, because he's taken too many of the drugs, he opens up an eclipse gate and gets sucked in. And gets sucked into the eclipse. So, yep. We've got another eclipse to go through, ladies and gentlemen. That won't be this part, though. That'll be next part. But, yep, we've got one more. We've got another eclipse to go through to save this pathetic piece of shit. And they're running off. Fucking cowards. Stop moaning, for God's sake. Yuki, stop moaning. And in we head. Because of course, you know, Shio can't see it, so of course he can't enter. Actually, this coming up is actually quite a decent joke, which I like. But yep, so this is the next dungeon, the Azure Ruins. I'll talk about the actual dungeon itself next part, but here we go. And of course, yep, this dungeon is overrun with the plants that they used to create the drug. So yeah, this must be where the ingredients are gathered. That's so. Oh, Shio's managed to find his way in, and I love this little line here. You didn't even see the gate, how did you? Yeah, he saw the spot where we all ran into, and just ran into the same spot. Yeah, you know, it's kind of odd how nobody else thought that this was a possibility up until this point. But yeah, Shio's made of sterner stuff, I suppose. But there we go. Wow, Asuka, that's kind of brutal there, man. He wants to come with us. And yeah, he still, even after all this shit, he still wants to save Akihiro at this point. And wants us to bring him with him, because, you know, he still feels an obligation to Kazuma and to the Blaze, and to Akihiro as well to a certain extent. And yeah, you can probably tell where this is going, can't you? So yeah, Shio awakens to his soul device. Shio's soul device is a great big fucking massive broadsword. Design-wise, I think it's kind of probably the worst. It's kind of a very bland design. It's kind of like just two blades stuck together, like one shorter blade and one longer blade. A claymore-like soul device. Yeah, and Shio's actually acts significantly differently to the rest of them, because the rest of them might move quite quickly. Shio is more, his attacks are really slow, but even these these normal attacks have a shockwave which can kill a bunch of enemies in front of you, which are, which is really fucking useful. And so he's kind of really slow, but in movement and in attack, but he hits like a fucking truck. So yeah, he's kind of like the tank of the group, I suppose. And I'll be using him a fair bit in this dungeon, but I kind of use him for combat and then kind of get away, and then kind of go off him for movement when exploring and all that. But anyway, that's it for this part of Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. Join me next time when we'll be saving Akihiro from the next eclipse, the Azure Palace, I think it was. So join me next time for the next part of Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, when we'll be going through the next eclipse of the game. See you next time.